Hey, do you want to know how to use cash offers to get more listings? Buckle up because you're about to find out. All right, what's going down, Zoodealio? Hopefully you guys are crushing it. I know as summer is coming to a close, a lot of times the market is going to slow. And I know that that usually means that there's going to be a little bit less listings, less buyers out there. And I know also with the rates where they are at last week, I think that they creeped up into the low eights, which is, again, I think for a lot of us, seeing how fast that's happened is certainly something that is eye-opening, and it's putting a lot of pressure, right? With cost of the property being high, and then of course the cost of capital being so high, the affordability factor is extremely low. As we get started here on today, I got some really cool stuff I want to share with you guys, right? And simply put, how I use cash offers to get new listings, right? That's one of the coolest things that you have within Zoodealio is the ability to use this hook to generate new listings. And so the reason why I want to focus on that is because this one simple fact about our business, list to live, right? There's a reason why that's, like one of those cliche sayings, or I think not necessarily cliche saying, but something that's been said so much in our industry is being able to list to live, right? Like being able to get in control of your business and controlling that inventory. But that's going to be the leads that we need to be able to do those particular pieces. But again, today's focus is being able to take these leads that you currently have and being able to showcase the cash offer propositions that you have, and then being able to pivot to that listing. So I want to take you guys through a simple workflow. Curious question, right, for you guys. If you would, are you seeing a slowdown in your current market? Are you seeing a lot of blowback from the rates being where they are at? Have you guys had that buyer or that seller that just says, whoa, it's too expensive right now. I can't sell my house because there's nowhere for me to go, and I'm not about to go from a $2,000 a month mortgage payment to a $3,000 a month mortgage payment. So curious question, have you guys seen that happening in your marketplace? Let me ask you guys this question for something to consider. What are you doing to overcome that objection? How are you guys looking at getting these people into movement, right? There's a lot of people that are gonna need to sell, but at the end of the day, when you really look at the actual transaction count, and if some people are waiting, they're wanting to kind of see what's going on. So I'm curious what you guys are having go on and how you're going to get these people off of that fence, right? We all know that saying of the fence is a very uncomfortable place to be, but we got to get them into motion. So I'm curious what you guys are doing to help get them into motion. A couple of things for us to be thinking about, just giving you guys a quick way to sharpen the saw, which I would imagine a lot of you are. This is where we probably have to get into some of those conversations with the sellers to now start thinking about offering the ability to forecast a specialized rate, therefore a lower payment. So just giving you guys the angles of what I see on there, instead of saying, hey, we're gonna potentially need to do a price reduction, you could say the seller's offering 5% concessions or closing cost assistance to possibly buy down the rate, right? These are the certain things that so many buyers agents are not always aware of. So remember, most buyers buy based on payment. The problem that you're gonna have there, of course, is the MLS and the syndications of everything else. So those are the areas, depending on what your rules are, you can put those in the public remarks. Really kind of work with your lender would be the other thing I would say that you need to be very careful about, and making sure that when you're talking about these types of things and offering specialized rates, there's certain things that can kind of come up there. So definitely talk with your lender there. But these are opportunities for you guys to be able to actually offer specialized pricing to move that particular property. And so the quicker that you get with the sellers in those scenarios to say, hey, instead of, possibly slashing our price, what if we adjust the price so it re-hits the portals, but we also offer an incentive to the buyer to have a different rate, right? A lot of times these are things that can cause that house to sell quicker. Again, especially underneath 700,000, right? Across America, 85% of those houses that are acquired are purchased with a mortgage. Therefore, they're going to be very much so affected by these rates. And that's where, again, we need to be thinking outside of the box as leaders in our business on how we're going to be able to move this inventory, close deals, help clients, etc. So what you are going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you show all of your cash offers. So the biggest thing today as we go through this, I want to walk through this piece, right? Give us the bullet points that we need. Then I want to go into an actual live scenario. I want to put our hands in the mud and make sure that you guys are using Zoodealio and your offer dashboard to the best of your ability, ultimately to generate more clients, right? That's the biggest thing I want to make sure. Last week, we really spoke about, having that lead magnet. How do we get people into the top and those long-term nurture sequences that you're going to have with Blast and being able to cultivate those clients? Well, this is that walkthrough now. Let's say this would be totally ideal for a canceled, an expired, possibly a probate situation, or a divorce situation. And then finally, without a doubt, FSBOs. This is going to be a massive one for FSBOs because at the end of the day, this is number one, these people are already selling their house. And when you can walk in, give them their cash offer options, and ultimately cultivate that relationship by the value proposition that you're bringing and showcasing your skill set of how you could sell it for more money on the open market in a time frame that makes sense for them. From there, it's a math problem, not a word problem. And so that's the beauty of what I want to help you guys uncover here, is using the offer dashboard to just get really clear on the numbers, because then from there, it's just about implementation of that strategy and plan that we are going to be doing. So when I say show all of the cash offers and instant selling options, that's going to be everything that's available to them. So that means, like, sometimes we have our own individual investors, or maybe we want to make an offer on the property as well. It's something that fits our criteria, and we want to be able to put our offers inside of the offer dashboard as well. Now, the beauty of each one of these particular options is going to be, it's going to be planting a seed inside that homeowner's mind. So I want us to be thinking about that cash plus, especially when it's a property that maybe doesn't show the best, maybe doesn't smell the best, maybe has a little bit of deferred maintenance in the backyard, etc. Well, these are all problems that you can eliminate to possibly win over that, right? Now, the other thing I love with the Cash Plus is, guess what? Cash purchase, you still get the listing. That's the beauty of that one, is we're gonna constantly maintain that listing and use that listing to draw in other sellers, to draw in other buyers, and ultimately be that storefront and have my own inventory that we're always constantly talking about. All right, so number two, then from there, you need to uncover that homeowner's needed net proceeds and the time frame that makes sense for them. So what I mean when I say that is, I'll do kind of like a live role play here in just a second on this, on how I do it, but just going, right for it right now. I'm going to showcase all the different offers and options. And then I'm going to say, hey, it looks like this one's going to be able to put, X number of dollars in your pocket right up front. Now, the beauty on this is you get to pick the close date. There's no showings, and you're in complete control the entire time. Is this something that makes sense for you? No, it looks like it's a little bit short of where I need to be. Hey, well, let me ask you this, because if I could come by and verify condition and get a couple of shots for this particular buyer, I might be able to get this offer up for you. So if we could get you that extra, $10,000, $20,000 that would make sense, is that something that would be of interest to you? No, I don't think so. Okay, well, let me ask you this. What is that number that's going to make sense for you for this time frame and all that comes with this, that's going to make sense for you and your family to move on to the next property that you want to, right? So see, what I'm doing there, guys, is I'm being consultative. And that's what I want to make sure everybody is doing in this. And I think that piece gets missed. There's so many times, and when I'm talking with agents that, the client, the agent success team is talking with you guys as members, and that piece gets missed. They deliver the offer. Oh, they don't like it. Oh, they see that it has a 13% service fee, which we all know it doesn't. It's just a breakdown, or this one doesn't necessarily work the way that they want it to. Don't do yourself that disservice where sometimes, again, it's a math problem, not a word problem. And so if we as professionals can help uncover really what's the goal, what do they need to make that move, more times than not, it can be easy for us to pivot to listing if one of these other cash offer options don't work out for them. Now, here's one of my biggest things that I see is missed, and you must do this for the pivot. You need to be able to showcase that absorption rate. Now, what absorption rate is, just to make sure everybody on there, is how fast, based on the price, is this property going to be absorbed. Now, I want to make sure that I'm crystal clear on this, okay? If it's $1 million, I'm going to give extreme scenarios here. If it's $1 million property that's valued at $1 million and we price it at $100,000, it would take milliseconds for that property to be absorbed. So it's all based on the price and the market demand of that property per the price. Now, same is the other thing. If it's a $400,000 property at best, or that comps say it's a $400,000 property and we have it priced at $1 million, well, the absorption rate on that is 5 years or never, right? So these are the things that we need to be able to showcase to our clients. Hey, based on the offer that we need to generate, which is going to net you the number that you're looking to do, here is how fast the market should be able to absorb your property. So in today's times, again, with our low inventory markets, I mean, yes, there's less buyers in there with the cost of capital of what it is. But at the end of the day, if we're still forecasting based on the comps that we're seeing and the data that's available to us, if we price it at par or in line with the market, and it's a property that shows well, smells nice, looks good, is upkept, then it's likely to be absorbed based at this particular price, which would then yield them the number that they're looking for in that set time frame. And again, we can do that by looking at the comps and seeing how many days the past properties that sold that were similar or like kind properties on the market through that, right? And of course, there's definitely a lot of tools out there today that will show you what the absorption rate is for the particular property at the certain prices and certain zip codes, all those types of things. I think even Zillow and even Realtor.com nowadays can show a predicted how long it's going to take to sell at a certain price. So just again, giving you guys a little insight with that on there, if that's something that you're looking to help, basically giving that to your client. So I'm going to pause there because now I want to go into a live scenario. And I'm going to go through this with everybody from start to finish. We're going to go from submitting a property in the agent dashboard to furbishing the offers. And we're going to go through a full live scenario. We went to submit a property. Then after I submitted the property, it pulls us in here. You get all of the different offers and options like we just said. Then I go over here and I'm clicking on the view offer dashboard. And the view offer dashboard is exactly the options that, in working it just like I had shared with you guys there a moment ago. Okay. So inside of that process, right? This is the part I want everybody to get to is uncovering the time frame that makes sense, right? Which is what their next move is. And sometimes it's, hey, when this house sells, we'll be able to move on. Or it's, hey, we're downgrading and we have plenty of time to do this, but I want to make sure we put as much money in our pocket as possible. So this is where I want the formula that I ultimately want to give to you guys. Hey, well, where is it after you get this house sold that you're looking to move to? Oh, we're just going to move, across town or state, whatever their answer is. Hey, well, when you guys move, I would assume you're planning to purchase your next home. Is that correct? Yes, or maybe even no. Okay, well, let me ask you this. If you're purchasing your next house, are you trying to buy that house in cash, or are you looking to just put a down payment down on that property? We're going to pay cash. We're going to put a down payment down, whatever the answer is. Okay, cool. Well, let me ask you this. Is this offer that's going to put X number of dollars in your pocket, right? Which again, I'm gonna have in this, and I'm gonna showcase this number right here. Hey, well, if you were to put $820,000 in your pocket after the completion of this sale, is that gonna make sense for you and the family? No, that's not gonna get me where I need to be. Okay. So let me ask you this: if you were to sell the house for $1 million, it looks like you would be able to put $950,000 in your pocket. Is that more of where you're looking to be? Yes. Well, as long as I can put $930,000 in my pocket, and I'm just using this as an example, that's where we're looking to be on all this. So you can tell your buyers that that their offer needs to be that, so that we can put $930,000 in the pocket. That'll make sense. Okay. So that's really the accomplishment of what we're trying to get to. Then from there, uncovering that time frame and giving you guys the frameworks of how I work that particular piece there is this. Hey, so what is the time frame that you're looking to make this move? Well, again, so many times people will be more, hey, we've got plenty of time, those types of things. But then I'm going to ask them questions like this. Hey, are you aware that, right now is a prime opportunity due to the lack of inventory and higher rates to actually get the house that you want and possibly negotiate a really good deal on a house that you're looking to do? Have you thought about the opportunity of being able to save through timing? No, I really haven't thought about those types of things. Yeah, well, let me show you this, or let me share this with you. There's a lot of times, depending on the price points that you're looking to do, especially if you're looking to buy your next house in cash and you can close quickly, there's times that you can negotiate anywhere from a 5 to even 10% discount on that particular property. Have you thought about what that would look like for your circumstances? Right. So again, I'm going to plant those types of seeds now, and I'm going to water them for when we go to converting them and winning that listing here in just a second. Okay, so then from there, I then go back, snag the photos that I want, go back, see, and talk with the offers department, see, let's just again say that we get the offer up to $975,000, and that's the best that they can do. So then I'm gonna go back to Frank here, and let's say we'll go to, so hey Frank, I went to bat. It looks like the buyer, based on the conditions, the most that I was able to get that offer up to is $975,000, when it looks like that's gonna put about $848,000 in your pocket. So let me ask you, is that a number that makes sense for you and your family to move comfortably? No, unfortunately, like I had shared with you, I want to put at least $930 in my pocket. So yeah, that's a bummer. This doesn't work. Hey, well, let me ask you this. I assume that if we can get that $930, that this is what you guys are looking to do. Well, of course, that's what I just shared with you. Great. Well, let me ask you this. If I could do it for you and I could do it in as little as, 2 or 3 Saturdays based on, a couple of other conditions in the marketplace, is that something that would be of interest to you and your family? Well, yes, of course. And so that's the key moment from there, right? Where I want to sit there and show them based on the absorption rate of how I'm going to put that money in their pocket. Now, the one thing I want to educate everybody on is there are times that $1 million is going to be a 6-month marketing time frame. And so that's where we then from that particular point need to educate that particular seller. And I'm going to do that still based on this particular appointment. And I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Seller, I realize this cash offer, that there is a premium on this. There's an additional service fee of 6%, which may eat into the proceeds. Therefore, maybe this offer isn't for you. But what I want to share with you real quick is what we call the absorption rate, which is the pricing of your property and how long it's going to take to sell in the current market conditions. And based on the price of where you're at, it's looking like the forecasted time to sell your house is 6 to 12 months, right? With rates and the economic, uncertainties that we have right now, is that's a time frame that you're looking to try to get the house sold in. No, I don't want to wait that long. And not only that, the longer it goes, the more uncertain it gets. Well, I thought you might say that. So let me ask you this. If I could show you a strategy to where we could still put that $930 in your pocket, but we could adjust the purchase price to where it makes sense and we get it sold sooner than later so that you can take advantage of the purchase now that you have all of the cash and you win on both sides due to timing of everything, is that something that you'd be interested in learning more about? Well, boom. Right. So then from there, I show them my simple how we're going to get the house sold in that time frame, i.e. the absorption rate, the pricing. Those of you guys that have your listing presentations with marketing, social media, AdWords, your campaigns, all those types of things. Maybe you want to do that, kind of at a glance. But then from there, that's when I'm going to pivot to that listing and showcase to them how I've done all of that. Now, the piece I want to make sure that we're just crystal clear on, guys, is when you go through this process, this is where you blow away the competition, right? All the other agents that are there saying, hey, when are you going to plan on, hiring the right agent for the job of selling your home? Or I know you've been selling your house for the last 6 weeks, Mr. Fizbo. Let me know when you're ready to, talk about see my 12-point marketing plan on how I'm going to sell your house faster than the next agent for as much money as possible, or I'll slash my commission, or whatever that is. When you give them this guided process, that's part of what this is all about, guys. And so that's why I want to make sure that I'm really clear with you guys that you're using the application as intended, A, to start the lead and create the conversation, B, to convert that conversation through the proven strategies and process. And that's the beauty of nice technology, right? When they are able to log in, they can see the services, they can see the offering that you're providing for them, and ultimately giving yourself the best opportunity to win over that business. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in with us today. I really look forward to seeing your comments below. Is this helping you win more listings? In our high interest rate, low inventory times, it's never been so important to get in control of your inventory. If you get in control of that inventory, you're gonna find more sellers and more buyers, and you're gonna grow your business in a time when all the other agents' businesses are shrinking. So go out there and dominate. And as always, remember to make sure you like this video, subscribe, and feel free to, of course, share it. Thank you so much. Okay, so question for you guys on this. What are your takeaways on that process that I just went through? I know I got a couple of good pros on here today. So, Rob, curious to hear your feedback. Austin, certainly curious to hear your feedback. Anybody on that? Ken, of course, Ken, I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Austin, how are you, my friend? You are on.
Hey, Eliot.
Oh, hi, it's Lynn.
It's Lynn, but I got Austin next beside me, so you get both of us. Bonus. Hey, really quick. What I really like the part, just your little phrase that says, guys, this is not a math problem. This is a word problem. And I love that because
it's the opposite. It's not a word problem. It's a math problem.
It's a math problem. Yeah. Oh, okay. I wrote it down. But yeah, I like that because in reality, that's exactly what it is. So
always is.
It always is, so sometimes we come in, with all these words. It's just having those right words and being able to present to them the figures that make sense to them,
Absolutely.
And move forward with, like you say, all your absorption rate, show all your figures and all your marketing and stuff like that. So yeah, I like that.
Well, and to your point, right, they're looking for a guide, right? Just like when you step on an airplane or you go get surgery or whatever, you're not questioning that doctor's credentials or the pilot's credentials because they're already vetted out. And it's all about that experience. And when you can position yourself as the guide to be that pilot, to be that surgeon, really ultimately completing financial surgery for them, right? You want to give them that same type of experience from beginning to end. That's why so many reasons of people sell their houses themselves is either A, they believe that they can do a better job netting themselves more money, or B, they don't believe in real estate agents. And so when you can be that differentiator of showing them how you can do the job, ultimately putting more money in their pocket than they could themselves, why wouldn't they hire you? Like Absolutely. It literally is problem solved.
Yeah, I like that. It's like, always presenting ourselves as the professionals in the industry that we are.
Yep.
So yeah. So that was my deal. I like that, but I like everything else, but that really, I wrote that down.
Okay. So last question. Let's see. I see. Oh, there's actually two more that popped in here. Austin, Did you say the best? Did you say one of the best is the sell now, move later? Yes, Austin and Lynn. One of the highest offers we have right now is that sell now, move later. Here's how that one works. Remember, is of course it's going to be a market value offer. A portion of that equity is going to be held back until you sell that property on the open market, and they're paying that month-to-month rent until you successfully resell that property. Once you do that, the difference between what the house was purchased for to the final sales price is returned back to them. So if the house gains in equity, all of that still goes to them. The difference on the sell now, move later versus the cash plus is it's usually not going to get the rehab or the remodel levels that the cash plus buyer is doing. The cash plus buyer is doing usually in most cases a little bit more of an extensive remodel. Okay, Ellen, how close does the total payout compare to what the actual to what is actually paid out? For example, when factoring in closing costs on the buy resale, obviously it will be different. Ellen, on that, if you wouldn't mind, raise your hand just because I want to make sure on that. So I would say that the estimate is there. And of course, when we go into here, let me share my screen again. So when they have this here, these are of course all estimates. Okay, so here's what the offer is. In this scenario, this is the amount of holdback that's that buyer's security that's going to be returned to the buyer. Here's the actual service fee, right? This is what the buyer makes, but it's also how they pay the property upkeep, the taxes, the insurance, HOA, and how they make profit. The resale fee, all of this is passed on to you as real estate agents. Between you get paid the 2% commission instantly when the house is purchased, and then you get paid an additional 2% when you resell it, and you offer a co-broke of 2.5%, and then that last 1% goes to the closing costs for the resale. Okay, so that's kind of like the outline of that. Now, typically, when the house is purchased, on the cash sale, the seller has their customary closing costs, and the buyer pays their customary closing costs as well. So just as an FYI, hopefully that answers your question. All right, guys. Well, if I don't have any more questions, as always, I thank you guys. I appreciate you being on here with me today. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.